Hello, I'm John, the Warhammer Modeler, and welcome to the fourth episode in this series of me talking about my Mukaali baggage train for Necromunda. Now, this episode's going to be slightly different. I'm going to run through the process of converting another Mukaali. I've been having a think about this for a few days now, playing around with a few ideas and so on. But in this video, I'm going to run through the process of building the basics for this model. Now here we have one of my Mukaali ready to start converting. I bought these off eBay. They've got a grey primer all over them. It's a glossy primer. I haven't bothered stripping it off because it sprays over quite nicely when I get to priming with whatever paints I want to prime with. I'm actually going to build a new rider for this one and also put some equipment on the back of it. So to start with, the idea that I had, using the crates that come with Necromunda, I've glued the lids on these ones. I want to mount them either side of the Mukaali. And then I might put another bit of kit over the top of it. So it'll look like they've been slung either side, carrying whatever items are in these chests. I'm going to start working on the rider. I've got a few ideas for this. I've cut a few pieces out already, ready to go. But we'll see where it goes. So let's get started. So for the body for this rider, I'm going to use a Imperial Guard Cadian torso. A lot of the other models from the baggage train have this torso, so it gets a bit of continuity to all of them. So to start with, I'm just going to glue this in place. Okay, so there's the body in place. Now there are still mould lines and things on this. I will tidy those up later as I start playing around with the piece and finishing it off. So using some of the Outcast Scum models from Necromunda, I was looking at a few different hands and pieces, thinking how I wanted this rider to look. So I settled on him having a las pistol, but I thought these arms were a little bit too muscly. So I went with what I've done on some of the other models, and I'm going to use arms from the Gene Stealer hybrids. So this one, you can see I've already cut the hand off, but I'm going to put a las pistol on from the Necromunda kit. I'm going to put that one on right now. So I've already got one of the las pistols. So here is the original arm, and there is the las pistol cut off. And I'm going to stick that just over there. Need to tidy this up a little bit though. Just take a little bit off. So that will glue on that side there. I'm not going to glue it on yet because I want to wait for that arm to dry so the glue goes off. On the other arm, so this side, I was looking at this power pick arm from the hybrid kit. You can see I've had it on a previous model that I never got around to painting, but it is primed. But I want to kind of put it in here and give him a staff for kind of guiding the Mukaali or attacking bandits and raiders if they come close. What I am going to do though, I don't want this pick hand on here, so I'm going to remove it carefully because it's perfect for another model. I've got another hand I want to attach to this. There we go, taking it off nice and carefully. So there we have the pick with the hand. I'll save this for another model. So let's clean up the end of that hand. So I've got this hand here with this weapon, I'm going to trim the chain off completely, so it's just holding that section of the staff there, and I'm going to add a few extra bits to increase the size of this staff. So the hand and the arm, I'm going to attach the arm, get that in focus for you so you can see it. So I'm just going to move some of the other stuff out of the way so we can get a better focus on this. There we go. Okay, so the hand itself will stick on there, but I want to make the rest of this in focus. There we go. I want to make the rest of this staff. So to do that, what I'm going to use is some weapon parts from the Cawdor weapon pack. The specific pieces I'm going to use is the handle from the flamer, as well as part of the handle from the hammer itself. So there is the staff that he's going to be holding in one hand, and I'm going to use the las pistol on the other hand. Okay, so I've let the glue dry for a little bit. I'm now going to start adding a few other bits to the body of the rider. I want to give him a backpack, so I'm using one of the Orlok backpacks from the Forge World kit, and I'm going to want to stick it on there, but you can see it doesn't quite go on because of the little ridge on the back of the armour. So I'm going to take that off carefully. So my idea for using this backpack, we've got a weapon hanging out of it, so that could be any type of gun that I could apply to this model. It also has a respirator on it, so I don't need to have a head with a respirator on it. In my kind of mind, all of the models, or most of the models for the baggage train, have respirators on because they're working outside in the ash wastes. Yeah, that's better. So we've now got that backpack sitting there. So the next piece I want to add, I've nudged, if you can see this, I've nudged this arm so it has moved out of place. So I'm going to need to put a bit more glue in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the next step is gluing that las pistol in place. So there is that staff on the side there. So the head from the kit with the Outcast scum, it's the one with goggles and a hood. No respirator, because the respirator's on the backpack. So I'm going to put that in place. There we go. Okay. So there we have it. There's the rider. Really quite happy with that. I may add a few extra details to it later on, but for now I'm going to leave it like that and move on to the baggage that it's going to be carrying. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I wanted to mount these two crates on the side of it, so they're sitting like that. Now these are hollow on the bottom, so what I'm going to do is mount them in place and then see what I can see from the underneath, and then I may fill it later on. It all depends how distracting it is on the model itself. And the way I'm going to attach these, quite simply, on the packs that are already sculpted onto the Mukaali, I'm going to put a bit of super glue, and I'm just going to position these sitting on top. So here we have the two containers either side. Do want to put something on the top here, and the idea I've had for that is this fuel barrel, and I just want to sit that on there like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue it in place at the moment, and I'm going to think about how I could make these look like they're tied on. So I might use string, or I might sculpt some rope or something like that. But for now, I just want to glue that in place. Okay, so there you have it. Quick little conversion here to add another Mukaali to the baggage train. If we compare this to the other two, so here is the leader of the baggage train with all of his items on there, and then the second one with all of the items on. I like the idea that each of them is packed differently depending on the rider and so on. But as you can see, if we put them all next to each other as they're walking along, there is a sense of kind of coherency because of the mounts that they're on as well, and some of the armor details and things like that. But each one has its own character and does look very different. So I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos looking at the baggage train. I may do a few more in the future as I do a few more details on this. If you're interested in me doing a few more of the videos, please drop a comment below. I'm always open to suggestions for videos as well, as I do enjoy producing them as part of my hobby. But for now, I'm John, the Warhammer Modeler. Stay safe.